Well, good morning. Today is a fantastic day. It is Tuesday, June 11th, 2013. It's a great day. Welcome to your call to action. We are so glad that you joined us today, that you're here on this call, a part of this amazing call. We know because you're on this call, you are ready to take action and become successful in every area of your life. That's the first step, to take action, step out in faith, be here on this call. Congratulations. This is the first step to taking action, and it's a powerful one as this is your call to action. We're here together to join together because we can do so much more together. We can do so much more united. We can do so much more as a team. We can do so much more as a family. We're glad you're here, whether you have a charity or a ministry, or maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad, or possibly you're a manager of a business somewhere, or you have your own corporation, you're an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, or maybe you're an employeepreneur or a staff member, associate at a corporation or a business. You are welcome here. We are glad you're here. We're excited for you because we realize by being here, you're taking action in your life, and we're coming together to take action. This is no longer a place for mediocrity. We are stepping it up. We are taking action so we can be victorious. It's so powerful as we come together in unity and harmony and begin to see things change. Not only in your life, but in our lives. And together we share what's changing, what's happening, what is growing. And it was so powerful yesterday hearing Dr. Abernathy share. I'm so blessed to have him as a business partner in our consulting firm, Peculiar Solutions Consulting Firm, which, by the way, go like us on Facebook. We're glad you're with us, but like us on Facebook. We always have some nuggets that we're putting out, also some announcements of things taking place throughout California, throughout the nation, of different activities, different things we're getting behind and taking a stand for. And it was awesome to have Dr. Abernathy be on the call yesterday and share a little bit with us. And then hearing from Danny Johnson, amazing nuggets, amazing things moving forward. Such an awesome thing. And so glad you're here. Today, it was interesting because my wife, Chantel, she posts things on Peculiar Solutions and on Facebook to announce our call for the day. And she says, what's the title of the call? What's the theme? And I'm like, I don't know. And then I started thinking about it. I said, okay, here it is. Victory or failure? What will you choose today? Because victory or failure is determined by the way you look at it. Maybe that's a different perspective. Maybe you've never heard that before. But as Wayne Dyer says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. And there could never have been a more perfect lesson of that today as we woke up, and I tell you, it was a victorious morning for us family-wise. Getting out of bed, getting up, declaring, clapping our hands, it's a great day, and getting started. And then trying to get my 13-year-old son out of bed this morning was like pulling teeth almost. He did not want to get out of bed. He was comfortable and cozy. So we encouraged him greatly as he has certain goals that we talked about yesterday as an athlete. Plus, we're running a marathon as a family. He's doing the half marathon because they won't let him run the marathon unless he's 18. But Chantel and I are running a marathon, and he's running a half marathon. We are getting behind the cause. Now, like I said, if you haven't been on our Facebook page, jump on my personal one too, Carlos Campos or Chantel Campos and Peculiar Solutions, as we are all getting behind a cause, which is a battle and a fight to stop sex trafficking. We want to put a face and a voice to this battle. We declare war on sex trafficking as a family. And so how does that represent through the doing this marathon? in San Antonio, Texas, November 17th. Join us. Join us. Our goal is to raise at least $300,000 by November 17th, and we are going to do that as we all come together because we want to fight against the sex trafficking. It's a shame as you see the billions of dollars. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. You have to look at the article, and Alyssa actually, we are connected through Alyssa, which is one of the staff members at Danny Johnson. She's raising up warriors, Danny Johnson, as I tell you. And so we're all supporting that and getting behind that because we want to see it stop. And it was amazing today. So victory or failure, as we got up this morning, went for this jog. Chantel stayed with Hazel because Hazel's still sleeping. She did a workout today because she jogged yesterday. If you haven't seen that powerful story, you have to see Chantel's powerful story and the description of what hit her yesterday and how our why keeps growing. What's your why? Why do you want to be successful? Because if you don't determine why you want to be successful, why you want to make a lot of money, why you want to do things, you'll not do it. You won't get up in the morning. Our why is to battle against the sex trade or the sex trafficking. We want to get up and work out and do this jog. So Mateo and I went for this jog. And I'll tell you, that kid, he is so athletic. He's like, Dad, Mom kind of makes it slow. Let's go fast. And I'm like, oh, boy. So he's taking off, and he's like a rabbit, man. I said, son, we're trying to build endurance here, not speed. You know, as a marathon is 26 miles. So he says, you want to run 4 miles then? I'm like, oh, my goodness, I don't know. And so the goal was to run 2 miles today. We have a little track that we run around our neighborhood that equals 2 miles. And so as he took off, boy, he is quick. I mean, we're talking 9-minute miles we're running after it. And I'm like going, this is crazy. And so anyways, but to end this route that we do, we have this huge hill. And I had talked about this hill before in another call. And this hill is so challenging. And as I told you before, the lesson I learned was the victory, right? Every 15, 20 steps, I said, there's a victory. I said, there's a victory. Keep going. Keep going. Today, it was interesting because Mateo just took off up that hill. We got to it's at the end of the 2-mile jog, of course, this huge hill, and I'm talking steep. Woo! And it's about probably a quarter mile steep, and it feels like you're going straight uphill. So anyways, we're going, and victory or failure, that's what we're looking at, right? When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. So as we're going up this hill, Mateo's just going for it, and I'm going, and I'm doing my best. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I can do this. I can do this. And I'm kicking those little goals. Now, let me tell you, how many of you have ever said, when I get to a certain point in life, I'm going to be victorious? I know that this is my championship point. This is where I'm victorious. I looked up and I saw the street light, and I knew that where the hill topped out was at a street light, a go light, as I called it from Zig Ziglar. Most of you might call it a stoplight, but it's an opportunity light. It's a go light. And so I saw the go light, and right there is the top of the hill. This is my victory spot. Yes, I'm going. Here it is. I'm getting there. I'm almost there. It's the top of the hill. And I get to it. And soon as I get to it, I was so distracted. How many of you have ever been in life headed for a victory, and then when you got there, you realized it wasn't really the top of the hill? It was the wrong spot. And I got there, and I tell you, all my steam was going for it to get to that point. And when I got there and realized I still had a whole nother block to go, I had made a mistake. It wasn't really the top of the hill. The steam ran out. And I literally stopped jogging and started walking. I couldn't because have you ever done that in life where you thought, okay, if I get to this point, then I know I'm successful. And you get there and you realize it wasn't what you thought it was. It wasn't that success that you thought it was. It wasn't that point that you are really victorious. that you're just at a halfway point, or maybe you still have so much more to go, and you're like, I gave it all I could to this point. And it's like so frustrating when you reach it. Now, I asked the question of this call, victory or failure. Now, let me say something. There's a little point in here, because I did. The first thought I had is I failed. Why? Because I stopped jogging. But then as I looked down at my feet, I never stopped. I kept pressing on. I didn't stop and start going backwards. I didn't stop altogether. I just stopped jogging, but I kept pressing on. I kept moving forward. I kept walking up that hill. And it was interesting because I saw Mateo popped out at the top, which was the real top, and he got there, and I was walking, and I was pushing, and I'm breathing now, and I'm about to throw up because it's a huge steep hill in life. And you ever get to a point like that, and like I said, all steam was let out because I thought it was the top, and it wasn't. And I thought it was a victory, but then all of a sudden, like I said, the failure, the mind gets control, making me think it's a failure. But when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. I realized I didn't stop. I didn't go back down the hill. I didn't quit. I just wasn't going as fast as I was in the jog. And so that was the sprout, and it actually was a victory because I didn't quit. Even though it wasn't the top of the hill and my steam had let out, I kept going. And then as I saw my son looking back at me, it gave me the courage to then start jogging again. Why? Because together we are so much stronger. As a team, as a united, we are so much stronger. So I began to jog again and get to the top of that hill, finally get to the top of it, and then he's walking around resting at the top of the hill, and I kept going. I said, I've got to keep going. And I went down a whole nother block, and then I started walking after that. But it was breaking through that hill, breaking through that victory, and realizing I hadn't failed, that I had kept moving forward. And that's the key, to continue to take action. Don't stop. You may slow down a little bit, but as long as you don't stop, you are victorious. You are victorious. If you change the way you look at things, the things you will look at will change. Don't go backwards. Don't stop. Keep moving forward, and you are victorious because you're still taking action. Woo! Powerful lesson for me. And I know I've gone on longer than normal telling this story, but it was such an impactful thing in my life because I've had that in business. I've had that in different ministries and things that I've been a part of, where you think, oh, yeah, I'm getting there, yes, I worked so hard to get to this point, and then you're like, oh, it's not the top. But we still have to celebrate those sprouts. We still have to celebrate those victories and continue to press on towards the mark, keeping our eye focused on the goal and moving forward. Let's listen to Ms. Danny Johnson as she shares her incredible wisdom of how it is that we can build our people skills and our core reform methodology. Powerful stuff that she's been sharing. I hope you're taking notes because this stuff is really, really good. As Ms. Danny Johnson is sharing the core reform methodology on unlimited success. We're on the core reform methodology. Let me get to the right track here. And let's see what she has to say today as we all join in to Miss Danny Johnson, trying to figure out our whys and making sure we have our whys defined, and also asking questions to control the conversation is where we ended yesterday. So let's see what it takes to become successful in all areas, taking action and getting results. Here we go.
This is right. This is it. Okay, so asking questions. He who controls the conversation wins. Whoever does all the talking will lose. Did you hear me? Whoever does all the talking will lose. So your job is to get other people to talk about themselves. Why? Because it does two things. Number one, it develops trust. It develops trust with the other person. Another breakdown in marriage, no trust. Why? No talking, only fighting. Okay? When you go home and you use these questions on your spouse, it's going to shock you what you learn. especially when you ask your spouse what he does and what he likes about it and what he doesn't, or she, whatever. It will shock you how much you learn. When you ask what they like to do for fun, it's going to shock you what you learn about your spouse. You go home and try this on your kids, it's going to shock you what you learn about them. It'll blow your mind. You're actually going to get to know people that have been in your house for 25 years. This is no joke. We walk around saying, oh, I know him, or I know her. Okay? No, you don't. You think you do. And when you think you do, that makes you stupid. It's the truth. Anytime I need to get a point across to anybody, child or adult, I ask a lot of questions. Why? Because through the answers, I get to hear the real person and the real issue that needs to be solved. Versus the fake one, versus the excuse. Do you hear me? Most of you run on bunny trails of excuses with people instead of knowing what really is in the heart of the man or the woman. All right? So control the conversation by asking questions. Number 6, this is what you're looking for, what I call the sign. You're looking for the sign. The sign S stands for strengths. I stands for interests. G stands for goals. N stands for needs. You're looking for the sign. Strengths, interests, goals, and needs. This applies to every situation you will ever be in for the rest of your life. How many of you are in a position where your job requires you to recruit or to hire people? Okay? This one I'm giving you right now is absolutely perfect for you. When a company has a wrong hire or a bad hire, it causes the company money. It wastes money when you have a bad hire, and same if you're a professional recruiter, which some of you are. So in that you don't waste time, the interview is the most important part. And you're looking for the sign. Again, strengths, interests, goals, and needs. Same with your children. It's how I've motivated one of my sons who is completely, by nature, by personality, would be completely disorganized. But because I know his sign, his strengths, his interests, his goals, and his needs, I am able to motivate him to do things that he naturally would never do. How? Because I'm leading him with his strengths, his interests, his goals, and his needs. I'm going to demonstrate to you in a minute. People are interested in what? Let's try that again. People are interested in what? People are interested in what? They are not interested in you. Did you hear me? They are not interested in you, nor are they interested in what you have. They're not. Period. Now, Daddy, when it comes to dating, that's different. Really? You really think so? No. This goes for finding a mate, the one you've been longing for. Strengths, interests, goals, and needs. How many of you have made mistakes in dating? That's because you went on a feeling. You didn't properly interview. Did you hear me? You didn't properly interview. You went on a feeling. You went on a surface instant gratification. Hello? Surface instant gratification. It makes me feel good. Write this down. Make people feel important. Make people feel cherished and special. When you make people feel special and cherished, gosh, you have won an advocate. Did you hear me? There's a difference between a friend and an advocate. Do any of you have an advocate in your life? Somebody that defends you? Somebody that fights for you? Somebody that you know, even if you did something, the most unthinkable thing ever in your life, that they still would stand beside you? There's very few people on the planet that have one of those. Very few. I'm blessed I got a few. And some of them are here in the room. Okay, number 7, listen. Listening is not, my friends, listening is not waiting for your opportunity to speak. Listening is not waiting for your opportunity to speak. Listening is not interrupting somebody else so you can say what is more important or to correct them. That is not listening. Listening is being genuinely interested. If you've not read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence especially if you are dealing with people. Who here deals with people? How many of you are now convinced that no matter what profession you're in, you deal with people? Doesn't matter what it is. I don't care if you sit in a cubicle. You're dealing with people. And you have to sell your boss and get you out of that cubicle and in an office with a window. And some of you are focusing on more engineering to make that happen. No, I'll give you some secrets a little bit later on how to get promoted. So, people are interested in themselves. They're interested in what their strengths, interests, goals, and needs are. They're not interested in what you have or what you like or what your opinion is about something. They could care less about any of that. Okay? What makes you trustworthy to another human being is listening. Listening makes you trustworthy to another human being. Not interrupting them. Not proving to them that they don't know what they're talking about. But honoring them by listening. Let me tell you something else what listening is not. Listening is not listening to someone that you're interested in what they're saying. Did you hear me? Listening is not listening to someone that has something interesting to say. Listening is being able to listen to someone even if they don't have anything you're interested in. Let's just say, for an example, that I have a strong interest in something. Crocheting. Okay? I like to crochet. So you ask me about what I like to do for recreation, what I like to do for fun. I say, I really enjoy crocheting. Actually, I really enjoy cooking. Okay? That's a stress reliever for me. And you could say to me, oh, really? Wow, that's wild. I hate it. Off. Do you hear me? In other words, listening and honoring a human being means that you are going to learn about who they are and what makes them tick and what matters to them, regardless if it matters to you. Do you hear me? That's listening. That you can have a conversation with somebody that you share zero interest with at all. But when they walk away from having a conversation with you, they think you think just like them. Therefore, they trust you because a bridge was built, and the bridge was called listening. Did you hear me? The bridge is called listening. My friends, in this day and age, more than ever in history, and today with the economy as it is, it's the people that have mastered the skill of building relationships are the ones that will not receive the famine. Did you hear me? It is the ones that have mastered the skills of building relationships and honoring their fellow man that will still be highly recommended in a drought. Did you hear what I'm saying? If you are depending on your product or service or ideas to get you through these next famine years, because we are in a famine whether you realize it or not. But I will tell you that the Bible shows a way to escape it. It does. So the famine is not for you unless you want to stay ignorant. It'll be for you. But it's those that know how to honor people and to listen, regardless if you're interested in what they're talking about or not. I have had thousands upon thousands of personal conversations with people try having a conversation with a rocket scientist, a statistician. Now see, most of you couldn't handle 3 seconds in a conversation with somebody like that. And most of you could not understand what they were saying, me included. Don't have a clue what that terminology is. But I can sit there and listen. Next point, have direct eye contact. Have direct eye contact, not interrupt, ask more questions so I can learn what makes that person tick. That develops trust. When trust is developed, the answer is yes. Did you hear me? When trust is established, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Number 9, compliment. A compliment is the greatest icebreaker that there is. It's the greatest icebreaker that there is. You're standing in line at the grocery store. Look for things that you can admire about other people. If your standards are so stinking high according to beauty or stature, give yourself a break already and get over yourself. Get over yourself. There's always something that you can bring to the attention of somebody else, especially in a place where you know they've worked on. If somebody is well put together, you can tell that's important to them. And if you bring attention to that, man, I can see you're just all well put together. I like what you did. Now, you may not like the color. You may not like or agree with the ensemble. But write this down. This is the biggest point I can give you concerning people. Write this down. You are not the issue. You are not the issue. The person is. So if they wear pink and you don't like pink, that doesn't mean you cannot compliment them. They obviously like it. So bring attention to it. Do you hear me? If they've got some fun, wild hair, in fact, during the book study yesterday, there's a few women that came in, they had some fun hair, man, some wild hair. Cool, just killer hair. Love it. And I admit, I love your hair. And they were shocked. They said, it was kind of wild. I said, I know. It's cool. Now, you can tell that mine's not like that. But I can appreciate that someone has the boldness to flaunt that thing. It's awesome. I love my brother over here with those dreads. My son wants those dreads, by the way. My 13-year-old, Mom, I'm going to have dreads. Mom, I'm going to have dreads. Oh, he's blonde. I'm going to have dreads. Okay, now, that's great for him. May not be great for me, but that's not the issue. So compliment people on things that you know that matter to them, not their crew socks. Everyone has crew socks. Do you understand? That could be a surface thing. It could be a smile. It could be a light in their eyes. It could be the tone of their voice. It could be complimenting a job they're doing that's well done. Hear me out, my friends. You need to hear me out. Can I tell you the biggest mistake people make when it deals with people? They get too comfortable with people and they think they don't have to do these steps with their family. They think they don't have to do these steps with their current clients that they've had for years. Do you hear what I'm saying? So they let their guard down. They treat other people better than they treat those that are around them. If you created your work environment and all of your clients that came through your business or your job, you treat them with that kind of honor where you're looking, I'm going to compliment somebody every single day. I promise you, come on, we reap what we sow. And many of you feel like you don't get enough encouragement. So when you speak that encouragement, what do you have coming back to you? Encouragement. Could you ever have enough? No. No. You will change the entire environment in your salon, in your airplane, in your workplace, whatever it is, in your home, if every day you made sure that you complimented those that were around you. People want enough of you. This is the secret to my Uncle George. No joke. No joke. You're safe with people that compliment. You're not with those that condemn. Are you catching what I'm throwing down? You are not. Come on. How many of you know people that you feel safe around? I want you to think about that person right now. It's probably someone that encourages you. Someone that believes in you. Not somebody that's waiting for you to fall. Catching it? Okay, number 9, compliment. I teach college. I've taken some of the information that I've learned.
The importance of all these incredible nuggets from Miss Danny Johnson, and I am so appreciative of her and her skills in communication and what she's taught us and our family and our business and our associates and our clients as we share with our clients how important it is to communicate. We are facilitators for Miss Danny Johnson, so we love and enjoy teaching our clients, working with our clients on the art of communication, form, family, occupation, recreation. Super important to even form our relatives, our family members. So here's your challenge for today. Did you form your spouse today? Ask them, how's the kids? How's their mom? How's family? How was work today? Did you get this done or that done? Did you reach your goals? How are you? Did you enjoy work today? And did you get to have fun? What kind of fun things did you do today, right? Recreation. What do you like to do for fun, babe? What do you want to do? What would you like to do for fun today or tomorrow or this week? Ask those questions to your children, your roommates, or your family members that you live with or you're around. Call them up. Ask your mom or dad. It's a challenge. Will you step up to the challenge? Because if you're wondering why you don't have very good relationships, it might be because of the lack of communication. And then as you build those relationships and they become stronger and your territories increase and they get larger and bigger and deeper, right? Deeper relationships because of the communication, then you begin to have an advocate. Someone who truly cares about you would even die for you. How important is listening? Truly an art. I love that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I've read through it. I need to read it 10 more times, 20 more times. Because even Warren Buffett, I just did some research on Warren Buffett. Read a book about Warren Buffett this past weekend, as a matter of fact. The management of Warren Buffett, who is the second wealthiest man in the world. He owns over 88 corporations, multi-billionaire, brilliant man, and he's read How to Win Friends and Influence People dozens of times. If it's good enough for him, I think it's good enough for me to read a dozen times or more. So I challenge you, go get that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Even Miss Danny Johnson recommended it. She's read it several times. It's a great book. It's a life changer and a game changer for you and your home and your business, in communication, listening skills. Listening makes you trustworthy to another individual. Ones who have mastered this skill of building relationships will overcome famine, will overcome this depression, supposedly, that the economy's in. It's awesome. Honor people and listen. Make eye contact. If they trust you, they're going to say yes. So if you're trying to get your staff to do things, or your associates, or clients, or family members, or whatever it is, maybe it's someone in your charity, people in your ministry, if you're trying to get them to say yes to things, you might want to build your trust with them and communicate and honor, make good eye contact, compliment them. I am not the issue. The person in front of me, I want to honor them, and I want them to know they are appreciated for their boldness, for their uniqueness, for their hard work, for their amazing smile, for their amazing laugh, for the incredible energy they bring. How hard is it to compliment someone? It's not. The only reason why it's hard is because I'm selfish. If I take myself out of myself and become selfless, I can find a compliment about everybody in my life, everyone that I come in contact with today. I can master the art of edification. I must have a reputation of edification. Important to do not only with people that you work with or staff, but with your family. It starts at home. What you do at home then will grow your territory into your business. Important to do with your family, your clients, your staff. Incredible stuff. We're constantly learning here. I heard an amazing example yesterday of how important it is to learn no matter how good you become. There was the world's greatest celloist, the greatest celloist in the history of mankind. He's an older gentleman, and he still practices. Listen to this. He practices the cello 6 hours per day. Can you believe that? He is the greatest celloist this world has ever known, and he is still practicing 6 hours every day. And they asked him, why are you still practicing? You're the best in the world. Why would you practice 6 hours a day? For crying out loud, that's a long time. Even I think that. And he says to the people, because I believe I am getting better every day. What bar will you set? Do you want to get better every day? It's time. It is so time. We must grow, we must continue to learn, and we must get better every day. What will you do today to improve your life? Will you appreciate someone? Will you compliment them? Will you honor them? Will you love them? Let's start at home, and let's make a difference. Thank you for being on this call today, your call to action. Let's go out there, let's take action, and we will get results if we're willing to step out and take action. I guarantee you'll get results. Those results will turn into success, and I'm telling you, we will change the world together. Thank you for being on this call. It's been an incredible call. Let's do this thing. Let's take action. Let's get results, and we will succeed. I'm Carlos, your host for today's call. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to have an incredible call. More amazing information as we are all learning and growing together. Take care, and God bless.